Hello everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Shireen and I focus on fashion and lifestyle video content. Today I wanted to share all about my goddess braids. I've had them in for about a month now, so I wanted to give a thorough review on the process, the maintenance, styling, and things of that nature. Now, this hairstyle was definitely unexpected. I intended on getting a curly sew-in with some braids in the front. Some cornrows in the front. Before my birthday vacation, and you guys may have seen that vlog on my channel. It was the video that I published right before this one. However, when I went into the braid shop, I saw someone getting goddess braids and I just completely fell in love. I already been wanting these braids, and I actually wanted the goddess locks a year ago or a few years ago, and I just never got around to getting them. But when I saw the goddess braids, I was like, I need to have that. I need to have that for my birthday vacation. I need to have that for the beginning of the summer, and I'm so glad I did get it. I wore braids before this, maybe once towards the end of last year. Was completely turned off because I got knotless, you know, regular large knotless braids, but the product, the gel that was used in my hair really made my hair shed way more than it should have. So it basically took some of my hair out and it just damaged some of my hair. I was so turned off. And prior to that, I probably didn't get braids for like 15 years. I was just never a braid girl. I used to get them all the time when I was younger, but I do have extreme tender-headed. Like, I am very, very, very tender-headed. But so when knotless braids started to become more of the trend, I was definitely interested because I always heard that it does not hurt as much as regular, you know, the regular braid. And that was correct. Like, when I got my knotless braids, I did not, you know, there was a few areas that pinched a little bit, but nowhere near like regular braids or cornrows for me. So with that being said, I was definitely excited to change my mind last minute about my hairstyle and get these knotless goddess braids, and I'm so glad I did. I actually had a really good experience with them so far. I've had them in for about a month, and I will be taking them out soon, not because of the condition of the braids, just because I do have a lot of new growth showing a lot of my grays, and I'm just not with that. So I'm just going to take them out before it looks, you know, there's more visible gray hair at my roots. The braid hair is synthetic, and it was provided by the braiding shop. And I'll list all the details, the products, even the braid shop. I'll list their links all below in the description box, just in case you guys live in the area or you guys are just interested in learning more about their process as far as, you know, you being a customer if you want as well. And I'll also include all product links as well as the type of hair used. So, but the braiding hair was provided by the braid shop, so I really don't know the brand. I don't remember the brand that they used. However, I did have to purchase the human hair, which are the curly pieces. And when I went to inquire about getting my braids done, they gave me the exact, like a old tag from the exact human hair that I needed to purchase. So I went down the street and bought that. Now, this color, I usually do jet black, so the color is color 1. My braids are to my butt, like definitely past my waist, but it is called, you know, like the waist length. If you were to go to the shop and want to this same length, they'll consider it waist length. And it is also considered medium, which I was kind of shocked because when I got my braids done before, I got them in a large and they were much larger than this. I thought this would be considered small. So you may want, when you're, you know, looking for a braid shop or someone to braid your hair, if you're not doing it yourself, you definitely want to show them a picture of the size, because every shop, every braider considers their size, they size them differently. So what I would think this would be small, this is actually medium to to them. So, and of course that worked out, but that benefited me when it comes to the pricing. I paid $300 to get my braids done, and I thought that was fairly reasonable considering the amount of time that it took, as well as the size of these braids, as well as the length. I shopped around though, and this was pretty much the average price. There was another braider probably about 30 minutes away from me that charged maybe $15 less, and I didn't think it was worth it because they were so close to where I live. So anyway, and another thing that you want to consider is the amount of curly pieces you want intertwined into your braids. Now let me put this out there. I have seen some videos right before I got these braids installed. I did do a little bit of research here on YouTube as well, and I did see some videos critiquing the boho braids or the goddess braids, saying that after a few weeks or after a month they look horrible, they're hard to manage, the curly hair gets tangled. Let me tell y'all, if you get them done correctly and if you maintain them correctly, you will not have that problem. And if you get the correct hair, do not get synthetic curly pieces. Do not do it. It's not worth the headache, because those pieces will get entangled, will tangle. And also, I don't feel like it just looks as clean as the human hair. The human hair braid costs about $20 a pack. I purchased 3 packs. I know I was probably overdoing it with that, but I just really didn't want to run out and have to get more. Just, I don't know. This is my first time getting this style, so I had no clue, and I forgot to ask her. I think she said get 2 packs, but I always OD a little bit, so I got another pack just in case. I did only end up using a pack and a half, so I will say 2 packs is probably the way you would want to go if this is the amount of curly hair you want intertwined in your braids. Now, another thing that I will point out, it's really cute. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks really pretty sometimes to have a lot of the curly hair entangled and intertwined into your braids, but I did not want that look. I was already planning on getting a curly hair curly sew-in, and I just feel like sometimes those braids look more like a curly weave than braids with curly hair, and I really wanted to have the more braided look. So if you do want a lot of curly pieces, you can definitely get that and purchase more human hair for your braider. But I will warn you, that is definitely going to be a little bit more maintenance when it comes to that portion, because you're always going to have to detangle, always detangle, just to make sure it's not, you know, looking crazy like some of these reviews that I've seen. But overall, with the amount of curly pieces that I used, it was fairly easy to maintain. I'm gonna be honest with you. So the first week that I got them done, I went on vacation for about a week, and I was in water like every day. My hair got wet, and I didn't even carry all of my products on vacation because it was a girls trip. My sister, she is my hairstylist, and so she's always carrying, she's everybody's hairstylist that pretty much was on the trip, was on the vacation if they're in town. And so she had a lot of products with her, a lot of hair products. So I was like, and I had so many things to carry, like my travel gifts and things of that nature. So when I was packing last minute, I was like, look, I can't fit all these extra products in my suitcase. I spoke to her. She had some things. I was like, all right, I'll just use yours. However, we were not in the same room, so it was a major, it wasn't a major, but it was inconvenient for me to always have to go to her room. With that being said, I ended up using the hotel shampoo, and I know some, or the resort shampoo. It did the bare minimum when it came to my hair, but I definitely, when I came back, I did a really thorough wash and condition and deep condition and all that good stuff with the braids. So what I will first say is definitely make sure you are washing and conditioning your hair. If you're getting it wet, if you're going swimming, whatever you're doing, just wash. You know, when you're wearing, whether it's extensions or braids, although it is not your hair, you still kind of want to treat it like your hair for you to get maximize the wear out of it. And so I pretty much wash my braids maybe like every week, just because I use a lot of edge control, I use a lot of mousse or foam, you know, so all of that product will accumulate, and you want to definitely give it a fresh wash every so often. So I've been washing my hair every week, or if I'm swimming, or if I went like over 4th of July holiday, I went swimming, so of course I gave it a wash in the middle of the week. So that's that. Now, to wash my hair, I used the Crème of Nature Pure Honey Moisturizing Defense Shampoo and Conditioner. So these are the shampoos that I used. The shampoo and conditioner that I used. And I will link these below. The one product that you're definitely going to always want to keep with you if you're traveling or whatever is foam or mousse. And I've been using this Oars olive oil foam mousse, and I'll link this below as well. And edge control will be your best friend. I use the Crème of Nature argan oil edge control, and I like it because it doesn't leave like a huge residue, and it's not too hard. I know there are harder edge controls that you can use, but you really don't have to do that. One of the first things that I had to even research or look up when I first got my hair done was how to sleep with them, because of course when you first get them done, they're a little bit more stiff. You know, if you're not used to braids like me, it kind of feels overwhelming to have so many braids so long. Like, how do you sleep with them and sleep comfortable without, you know, I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh, I don't want to get rid of the curl and all that good stuff. Well, before I get into that, let me back up. I'm sorry. Let me back up. The length of time these braids took, it took 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours to do. The braiding shop did tell me it would take about 4 to 5 hours. I don't know why it took 7.5 hours, but I'm assuming, honestly, it was only one person really working on my braids at one time, whereas a lot of times in the braiding shop, it's 2 people. So that may have been the cause, but I'm used to always having to sit for long periods, whether I get faux locks or braids when I do get them. When I have gotten them in the past, I've always sat a long time. The one time that I did not sit for a long time when it came to my braids, when I got the large knotless, I think it took about 2.5 hours. So that's that, okay? And but I you know, despite it taking longer, I would still go back to this braiding shop for sure. I really, you know, it was a long time. I made sure I brought some snacks. I brought some fruit. You know, I had my laptop to do any work that I needed to get done. And the people there, like the braiders and the staff, they were really pleasant. And so when I'm usually in a space like a hair salon or a braid shop, I want to make sure that the experience is pleasant enough for me to sit and not be bothered for so long. And it definitely was. I can definitely good customer service. I really liked, you know, the personality of the woman who braided my hair. It started off with one person and the other person did finish me off, but they were so nice and pleasant and accommodating. I had no complaints. I was sat there and I was fine with it. It was around the corner from my house, so I didn't really feel too bothered about it taking so long. So I just wanted to put that out there when it came to the length of time. I told you guys the price. It took about $300. Gave you guys the type of hair. It will be described below. But now when it came to the products, you guys saw the shampoo. The argan oil would be the edge control, the Crème of Nature edge control is what I've been using pretty much on a daily basis. And what I normally do is you put the edge control on, especially as time passes and your new growth starts to grow. You want to put a headscarf tight before you go to wherever you're going, just so that your hair is laid down and it looks neat as possible. That makes such a huge difference when it comes to your hair. Tying it down and allowing the product to kind of work its way through your braids, and it just looks neater when you keep it tied down. I literally just washed my braids before filming this video, so it is not laid down the way I was describing before. I did put some edge control on there, but it's not really necessarily like laid down. Also, I've been playing a lot with my hair because I decided to wear it down. Normally, when I had these over the past month, I hardly wore my hair down. I would normally wear it up, like if I'm by the pool, I'll wear it up to the side and I'll insert some clips there, or just wear it back. But I hardly wear it down just because it's just all over the place. Like if I bend down to look at something, hair is in my face. It's just a lot of hair. So I normally will pull my hair back. Now, going to sleep, that was something that I definitely was concerned about, just because I didn't want to, you know, I saw all these videos about people critiquing the curly hair coming out or getting tangled, and so I was a little nervous to go to sleep the first night with this hair, not knowing how to style it. I did see a video with someone saying putting 2 buns at the side. I tried it. That was absolutely not comfortable. I sleep on my side and on my back. I sleep however I need to sleep, and having 2 big buns, braided buns by the side of my ears was just not comfortable. The best way that I can say, and the way I normally sleep, is putting it in a very high bun. So I'll demonstrate it. So I'll basically like put all the braids up like this and twist it. So I'll twist it like that, put it in a really, really high bun, and just get a hair bow like that and just tie it over it. And then I'll put like my headscarf from behind and like wrap it around. That is the best, easiest, most comfortable sleep when it comes to these braids. As well as when I like take a shower and everything. If I'm like lying around the house, it's just not in the way. I mean, yeah, that's like the best way for me to sleep with this hair. So yeah, that is basically all the information that I have about Goddess braids. If you guys have any questions, place them in the comment section down below. I'll put all the links in the description box. Now, I am taking my braids out this weekend, or beginning of next week. Like I mentioned before, I do have a lot of new growth, and I just can't with my gray hair showing. You know, you have to consider how fast your hair grows and how you feel about your new growth. Like, I definitely could give these braids another 3 weeks to a month. So the braiding shop, my braider and other reviews have told me these can last for 2 months, and I absolutely believe them 100%. But it all depends on how fast your hair grows. My natural hair grows pretty fast. So when it comes to new growth, whether it is braids, or if I have a sew-in, which I often wear extensions, I'm always reinstalling and taking it down and reinstalling at 6 weeks max. Like when it comes to my sew-ins, 6 weeks max for a sew-in. I can't do 2 months, 3 months. I just can't. Some people can go that long and it's fine. With that being said, I am taking them out in a few days. When it comes to, one thing I didn't mention is when it comes to the amount of hair that basically came out, when I first got them done, I had some pieces that fell off, and I just kind of counted that as, like, chop that up as the residue from, and the remnant from me getting the initial braid. Maybe they didn't just like comb it through and detangle it, you know, enough whatever. I was a little nervous that a lot more of the curly pieces will come out, because that's basically what will come out, are the curly pieces. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was not much hair that came out. So the technique that this braid shop uses is definitely a good one, because you know, of course, when I wash my hair, some of the curly hair will come out. None of the braids came out. We'll say that, number one. None of the actual braiding hair came out. Only the curly pieces that you really have to worry about when it's done, when it's installed correctly. But yeah, so a few came out in the beginning. I was a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have any curly pieces left after my trip, or, you know, in a month's time? And maybe like every week, maybe like I would see one or two. Okay, especially with washing my hair, with going swimming all the time, one or two curly pieces will come out. Just be careful when you're styling your hair before you go anywhere, to prevent any embarrassment. Definitely make sure you are combing through your braids like this. I would just comb through with my fingers thoroughly, so that any of those pieces that are about to fall out would just come out at home and not while I'm out in public, okay? Because that will be embarrassing. Even at the gym, you know, making sure that you are combing through your braids and detangling them on a daily basis, so that you don't have to worry about them getting tangled or falling out. But I really didn't have any issues with them getting tangled at all. Like, you know, of course you want to make sure you're running your fingers through them, but they really didn't get tangled. I didn't have any issues with them, with the hair being hard to maintain in that way at all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are encouraged to get Goddess braids if you've been thinking about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you place them in the comment section below. All the links will be in the description box. I will see you in my next video.